Throughout history, myths, religious texts, and ancient manuscripts have hinted at the existence of beings who walked among humanity, entities described as gods, creators, and celestial visitors. These accounts, spanning civilizations from Mesopotamia to Mesoamerica, share strikingly similar narratives of beings who descended from the heavens, interacted with mortals, and even shaped the course of human evolution. But why do so many ancient traditions describe divine entities as physical beings rather than purely spiritual ones? Could it be that these figures were not merely gods in the mythological sense, but advanced beings whose presence has been misunderstood over time? The concept of the children of God has often been misinterpreted in biblical tradition. While many assume they were synonymous with angels, deeper linguistic and theological analysis suggests otherwise. If you enjoy content that helps you grow spiritually, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join our community for more inspiration. Let's get started. These beings, described in ancient Hebrew, Christian, and Islamic texts, are often depicted as having human-like forms but existing beyond our reality. Unlike angels, who are explicitly spiritual entities, the children of God appear to be physical beings with extraordinary capabilities, capable of directly interacting with humanity. When examining the original Hebrew texts, a striking discrepancy appears. The creation of humanity is often mistranslated. The commonly accepted interpretation states that God created man, but a closer look at the original language suggests a different meaning. Man was recreated. This implies that there was already an existing presence on Earth before what we now recognize as modern humanity emerged. Many cultures share eerily similar accounts of gods who not only descended from the skies, but also mingled with mortals, giving birth to offspring that were neither fully divine nor entirely human. The Greeks spoke of their deities mating with mortals. The Babylonians chronicled celestial visitors, and countless indigenous traditions around the world recall divine beings who took human form. If these were merely symbolic representations, why do they appear across such vastly different cultures and time periods? One of the most debated passages in Genesis states, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." The plural form suggests that the act of creation was not conducted by a singular divine entity, but rather by multiple beings. The term Elohim, often translated as God, is actually a plural form, implying the involvement of multiple entities in shaping humanity. This revelation raises fundamental questions about the origins of mankind, and whether ancient scriptures hold hidden truths that challenge conventional interpretations. The idea of ancient civilizations being wiped out by cataclysmic events is not exclusive to the biblical flood. Across multiple traditions, there are accounts of societies that thrived before being consumed by disaster, some by fire, others by water. If Noah's flood was not merely a myth, but an event recorded across different cultures, what exactly caused it? Understanding these forgotten cataclysms is crucial to decoding the truth about our origins and the forces that have shaped our world. This is exactly what The Secret of Jesus' Apparitions offers, a path to clarity and powerful knowledge through his revelations. This ebook goes into his prophecies and offers insight into what lies ahead. It's available for free in the pinned comment. Grab it now before the edition's gone. The fountains of the great abyss breaking open suggests a force much greater than rainfall alone. Some theories propose massive geological upheavals, sudden shifts in the Earth's crust that released enormous reservoirs of underground water, submerging entire regions. Others speculate that an extraterrestrial impact, possibly a comet or asteroid, triggered catastrophic flooding and the near-total erasure of an advanced pre-existing civilization. References to submerged cities and structures beneath the oceans lend further weight to this theory. Archaeologists and researchers have discovered remnants of ancient temples, roads, and even pyramids in various locations around the world. Off the coast of Cuba, entire megalithic ruins have been identified, resting silently beneath the sea. In the depths of the Bermuda Triangle, an enormous pyramidal structure with an illuminated apex has been photographed, raising questions about whether the Atlantic once held an empire long forgotten. Legends of Atlantis describe a magnificent kingdom that disappeared beneath the waves, destroyed in a single day by a cataclysmic force. Some accounts attribute this to divine punishment, while others point to an advanced society meddling with forces beyond their control. Atlantis may have been one of the many civilizations wiped out by the same catastrophic event that the Bible refers to as the Flood. The connection between the abyss and supernatural entities is firmly rooted in ancient texts. In biblical scripture, demons and fallen beings are frequently linked to the deep, hinting at a far more intricate reality beneath the waters of our world. Numerous religious traditions recount beings emerging from the oceans, possessing knowledge that far surpassed that of early humanity. These accounts may be echoes of an older reality, where entities predating mankind still influenced its evolution. Submerged ruins, unexplained artifacts, and anomalies in oceanic geography indicate that much of our past remains hidden beneath the waves. If civilizations existed before us, vast, technologically advanced societies that disappeared, then history as we know it is only a fragment of a much larger, concealed narrative. Ancient civilizations preserved detailed accounts of celestial beings who descended from the heavens and took active roles in shaping the world. These entities, often described as gods or divine rulers, interacted with humanity in direct and tangible ways. In Genesis 18, the presence of Yahweh and two other beings in Abraham's camp demonstrates that these figures were not ethereal spirits, but physical entities capable of eating, speaking, and traveling. Their human-like characteristics made them indistinguishable from mortals, yet their actions and authority revealed their divine nature. As historical records show, these celestial figures did not merely appear in isolated instances. Throughout history, rulers and elites maintained that their power originated from direct lineage with these beings. The concept of the divine right of kings solidified their claim to authority, ensuring that governance remained in the hands of those who carried the bloodline of their celestial predecessors. This belief shaped the structure of multiple dynasties and empires, reinforcing the idea that some individuals were predestined to rule. Unlock the hidden truths waiting for you. Download your free ebook now while only a few copies remain. The shift from ancient theocracies to structured monarchies did not erase the connection between celestial lineage and governance. The Roman Empire upheld the tradition of deifying its emperors, presenting them as living gods. When the empire crumbled, the Vatican assumed control, transforming the spiritual authority once held by Rome into a religious institution that dictated the legitimacy of rulers. This transition ensured that those in power remained under the influence of an elite order with ties to the same ancient traditions. Through carefully constructed institutions, the influence of these celestial beings extended beyond direct appearances. They provided knowledge, established societal structures, and shaped governance systems that persist to this day. Their involvement in shaping humanity's trajectory was not a temporary intervention, but a long-term orchestration that continues through secretive organizations and elite factions. Even as modern society moves towards secularism, remnants of these ancient influences remain embedded in global structures. those who continue to govern do so under principles that originated from these celestial entities. While their presence may no longer be as overt as in ancient texts, their impact endures, guiding the systems that control civilizations. The chain of influence has remained unbroken, ensuring that the original architects of humanity's order still hold power through those who claim to inherit their legacy. The notion that humanity's history has been rewritten to fit a controlled narrative is not speculation. It is a deliberate and systematic effort that has taken place for centuries. Ancient texts that contradicted established doctrines were destroyed or hidden, ensuring that only a carefully selected version of events remained. The suppression of knowledge is not a new strategy. It has been the foundation of power since the earliest civilizations. Religious institutions, governments, and secret societies have played crucial roles in this process, each serving as gatekeepers of knowledge. The removal of texts from religious canons, the burning of libraries, and the execution of those who challenged official narratives were not isolated events. They were coordinated actions designed to maintain control. History, as it is commonly understood, is merely a distorted reflection of what truly transpired. The Vatican archives house countless documents that remain inaccessible to the public, some of which likely contain accounts that could redefine humanity's origins. Similarly, archaeological discoveries that do not align with conventional timelines are either dismissed or buried under layers of academic bureaucracy. The past is not lost, it is concealed. The ancients knew a lot about the universe, health, and tech that scientists today are just starting to understand. The construction of structures such as the Great Pyramids of Egypt, the temples of Baalbek, and the precision-cut stones of Pumapunku defy conventional explanations. These sites reflect a knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and materials science that should not have existed in their respective time periods. Mainstream historians attribute these marvels to primitive tools and rudimentary techniques, yet modern engineers struggle to replicate their precision. The logical conclusion is that these civilizations either had access to lost knowledge or external intervention. References to celestial visitors, divine rulers, and skyborne teachers are prevalent across ancient texts, reinforcing the idea that humanity was guided by forces beyond its own. Control over history extends beyond ancient times. In modern history, wars, political shifts, and economic crises have all been orchestrated to manipulate society. The victors of conflicts dictate the official records, erasing inconvenient truths and constructing narratives that serve their interests. What is taught in schools is not necessarily what happened. It is what those in power have decided should be remembered. Claim your ebook today and join this powerful knowledge. Limited availability means this chance won't last long. The Roman Empire played a crucial role in shaping the historical narrative of Jesus. However, the accounts that survived were carefully selected, omitting details that could challenge established doctrines. The early church, influenced by political interests, determined which texts would become part of the canon and which would be dismissed. Many writings that depicted Jesus in a way that did not align with their vision were systematically excluded or destroyed. The so-called apocryphal texts, hidden from the masses, contained accounts that presented a different image of Jesus, one that was more complex and less constrained by religious dogma. The Nag Hammadi scriptures, discovered in Egypt in 1945, contained writings that portrayed Jesus as a teacher of deep esoteric wisdom rather than a mere religious figure. These texts suggested that he did not seek to establish an institution, but rather to awaken humanity to its divine nature. This perspective diverged sharply from the Romanized version of Christianity, which emphasized obedience, structure, and centralized authority. If Jesus' original message was about self-realization and spiritual liberation, then its distortion served as a tool for control rather than enlightenment. The Council of Nicaea in 325 AD was a turning point where the Roman Emperor Constantine played a decisive role in defining the official doctrine of Christianity. Under his command, many alternative narratives about Jesus were labeled as heresy, and dissenting views were actively suppressed. When power grew within the Church, teachings that supported spiritual strength for individuals were swapped out for beliefs that emphasized obedience to religious authority. This change made sure that Christianity would not be a movement of free spiritual seekers, but a force that brought people together and was controlled by the empire. Beyond textual manipulation, there were also historical inconsistencies surrounding Jesus' identity and mission. Some scholars argue that his story was interwoven with older mythologies, particularly from Egypt and Mesopotamia. The parallels between the life of Jesus and figures like Horus or Mithras raised questions about how much of his story was historical and how much was symbolic. This does not diminish the power of his teachings, but instead suggests that ancient wisdom was repackaged in a way that aligned with the needs of the ruling class at the time. The suppression of knowledge did not end in antiquity. Even today, discoveries that could reshape historical understanding face resistance. Documents found in the Vatican's secret archives remain inaccessible to the public, raising speculation about what hidden truths might still exist. Those who control history control the perception of reality, ensuring that only certain narratives reach the collective consciousness. The structure of control has always relied on deception, ensuring that people remain unaware of the true forces governing their lives. Those in power operate behind layers of symbolism, language, and manipulated history, shaping the perception of reality to suit their agenda. The financial, religious, and political institutions serve as mechanisms of compliance, conditioning individuals to accept authority without question. Ancient knowledge that has been deliberately removed or changed is strongly connected to the roots of religious structures. The worship of the stars, especially the sun, was at the heart of early religions. Horus was the Egyptian sun god who brought light to the world. The idea of Jesus rising also follows this pattern, which represents the sun's yearly trip. These similarities are not just accidents. They were created on purpose to hide where spiritual beliefs really came from. Secure your free ebook immediately and step into a realm of understanding. Act fast before it's gone. By controlling religious narratives, the ruling class ensures that people remain spiritually dependent on external institutions rather than seeking personal enlightenment. Ancient texts were rewritten, reinterpreted, and restructured to fit the needs of empires, transforming divine wisdom into tools of subjugation. The Vatican, which presents itself as the moral authority of the Christian world, is built upon the remnants of the Roman Empire, maintaining its legacy of control under a different guise. The same tactics of deception are present in economic systems. The monetary system is not designed to create prosperity, but to ensure perpetual debt. Banks do not lend real money. They create digital credit backed by nothing. There is no political review of the Federal Reserve or any other central bank. They set economic policies that only help the wealthy. It's not a coincidence that there is inflation, recession, and financial problems. These things happen on purpose to keep people depending on the system. If this message makes you think and you feel it connects with you, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Also, if you really want to support our work and help us keep creating valuable content, consider giving us a super thanks. Join this amazing community and don't miss any news. Legal frameworks further reinforce this control. Courts operate under maritime law, treating individuals not as sovereign beings but as financial assets. Birth certificates register people as corporate entities, making them commodities within the global economic system. Every signed contract, every transaction, and every government-issued document is embedded with legal codes that ensure compliance with this hidden structure. The illusion of freedom is the most effective method of enslavement. People are led to believe they have control over their lives while being manipulated through institutions designed to limit their autonomy. The key to breaking free from this cycle lies in understanding these systems, reclaiming knowledge, and refusing to accept imposed limitations.